Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. This is your brother Ayathan, and I just want to make a short video for brothers out there regarding the COVID-19 coronavirus, for you sisters also. The reason is there's brothers and sisters out there that listen to us that are in high-risk areas, higher risk, more dense areas of population than other brothers where the COVID-19, of course, will be it'd be easier to come in contact with. So I wanted to do put a little video together, just regarding a couple herbs, and these are just herbs that that myself and other elders and brothers that we commonly use, and we kind of make our own concoctions and stuff like that. So I have a few that I would like to suggest for you brothers and sisters that you could use to protect yourself. In other words, to boost your immune system. And also, if you happen to come in contact with it, it should do a good job of keeping you protected. Of course, Lord willing. The Most High controls everything. Now, you're more at risk if you have a compromised immune system. So if you're already suffering from some type of issue to where your immune system is constantly tanking, or if you're on constant medication, if you're taking prescription medications will keep your immune system hit. It'll keep hitting your immune system. So, you have a better chance if you're not on prescription drugs. And there are many prescription drugs out there that knowingly and really hit the immune system hard. And people on these drugs are at a huge risk from this virus. Now, just to clear things up, we're not saying that the COVID-19 is fake. Obviously, there is a COVID-19 virus out there spreading and affecting people. What we're saying is that the media is exaggerating it, greatly exaggerating it, and fear-mongering, and not giving out the facts. So again, the facts are, you most likely don't have to worry about this if your immune system is running optimal or decently enough to where if you catch a cold, then your body can fight the cold off with a little bit of rest and some tea. The most people dying from this or being seriously affected are elderly people who have pre-existing conditions, and this COVID-19 just exacerbates those conditions and brings them out and basically just demolishes the immune system. And most people end up on ventilators because what the COVID-19 does is similar to pneumonia, or SARS. And what it does is it blocks, or at the end of your lung sacs, you have these little sacs at the end of your lungs, and these sacs basically pass through oxygen and carbon monoxide. So with the COVID-19, you'll get fluid, and they call this pulmonary edema, right? This is when your lungs fill up with fluid, and this happens, from a different variation of different diseases, but COVID-19 does the same thing. It attacks your respiratory. So a good way to handle this is, number one, do what you can to not get it. And number two, if you feel yourself getting infected, you can take expellants. So I got a couple recipes that I wrote down. Some of them are my own recipes that I use. And then I think one of them I found online, but even that wasn't really strong enough. So I'm gonna show you in a minute. I want to bring the scripture up first. This is the book of Sirach and the Apocrypha. This is the 38th chapter. I'll start from verse 1. It says, "Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye have of him, for the Lord hath created him." And that's a talent. You got brothers out there that are ancient physicians, and they're very knowledgeable with the herbs, and they know how to put herbs together for different ailments, because depending on the ailment, there's multiple ways to take herbs. You can take them dry, you can take them as a tea, you can take them as a tincture. You can take them as what they call like a cold pack, where you press it against your skin. You know, there's multiple ways, and some ways are better than others for depending on what type of ailment you have. You know, so it says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord created him. Verse 2, for the Most High, from the Most High, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Talking about the physician, because there's a saying out there, right? Health is wealth, which is very true. You can have all the money in the world, but if you have shitty health, then you're going through more troubles than a poor man in great health. Verse 3, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Verse 4, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. Now the medicines are what? The medicines are the herbs. You know, the herbs. Any plant that you can eat is considered an herb. And every plant and every single fruit contributes. If the earth was at its fullness, and if Esau taught this, if Esau allowed or followed a tradition of a plant-based diet rather than I'll say a plant-centric diet rather than a meat-centric diet, meaning here in America, your meals revolve around meat. Meat is heavily acidic. And through meat, Esau can heavily poison you. They could put dye in there. They could put mercury in there. They have steroids that they put in the animals. Okay, so your body consumes all that, and it makes your body very acidic. And in an acidic environment, that's where diseases thrive. Diseases, infections, bacteria, they thrive in an acidic, like a murky pool is what your body turns into. But then on the other end, you have an alkaline body. All right, so to have an alkaline body, you need to eat foods that will keep your body alkaline. All right, which are plants, fruits, water, you know, natural spring water, all that stuff. But Esau detests the Most High's medicines, and he creates and he gives you his own medicines, which actually do nothing but kill you. You know, they do something called slow death. And during your slow death, as you're dying, they just prescribe, you basically become a customer for life to the pharmaceutical company. They have you on a hook for life. So this is one reason why Esau needs to be taken out of rulership. He needs to be destroyed. Verse 4, it says, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. It is no wonder why the Lord refers to this place as the valley of the shadow of death. Everything here, from the philosophies to the holidays, to all the traditional customs, to the diets, and all the way down to the medicines, are all designed to kill you. The valley of the shadow of death. Verse 5, was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? Right, because you can make water, medicinal water, out of plants and woods. You could take bark and let it soak in water, and it becomes medicinal water. You can take fruits and put them in water, and it becomes a medicinal water, alkaline water. Verse 6, he has given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous work. Verse 7, with such doth he heal men with the herbs, and taketh away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection. Now the word apothecary means, it literally means, from the Greek and the Latin, it means a storehouse or a barn. And a confection usually refers to like something sweet, like a cake, but it's basically a concoction. So the physician would literally have a barn or a storehouse where he would have bottles of different herbs, and then you would go to this physician and tell him what your ailment is, and he would go in the back and he'd make something. He'd make an herb for you. You know, they would use the mortal and pestle, which is, I believe, the logo for, I believe, Rite Aid is a mortal and pestle. And you know, when I was younger, or even now, you know, my woman uses it to make different different things. She used the mortar and pestle, to make different herbs. And I remember when I was younger, that's a traditional way of cooking, is you wouldn't go to the store and buy herbs. You wouldn't go and buy rosemary and basil. You'd have it fresh and it'd be dry. And then you take the mortar and the pestle, you put all the herbs in there, and you'd mash it up, twist it, turn it, mash it. And then you would make a concoction, a confectionery. And you'd either use it to spice up food, or you use it to heal somebody. So keep going. It says, "And the works of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over earth." Okay, from the physician. Verse 9, "My son, in thy sickness be not negligent." This is the main point. "But pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole." Okay. Verse 10, "Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all thy wickedness." So sicknesses is part of the curses. That's one of the ways that the Lord will punish you. When you read Jeremiah, was it 5? The 4 types of death, or the 4 kinds of death. The sword can also be pestilence. Psalms 91. The pestilence is a sickness. So it's up to the Lord whether you get healed or not. So you can go to the physician, because that's why he created the physician. And you need to couple that with prayer. And actually the prayer comes first, and you couple the prayer with the herbs from the physician, and then you pray to the Lord to take away the pain from you. You see? So I myself personally, I do know somebody who's currently in ICU, and this is somebody that has been, never did anything wrong to me. This is a woman. She was always cool with me, fed me. I even think a couple brothers may have had her food. I don't remember. But her herself, she's on ICU right now on a respiratory machine, because that's what the COVID-19 does. Fills up your lungs with fluid, and so you can't pass air. So if any of you brothers or sisters have a CPAP machine, and you can also use that as a respiratory machine. You can use CPAPs. That's what they're doing in the hospitals. There's a shortage, so they say, of respiratory machines. So they are using CPAP machines in lieu of those. Okay, but I personally know somebody, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure brothers out there know somebody that is affected, have been affected. And most likely, if they're older or have pre-existing issues, they're going to develop extreme complications from it. So, all right. So enough with that. Let me go on to let me see what I have written down here. I got a couple. Matter of fact, I'll go straight to the. All right. So here, this is a castor oil pack. So castor oil pack is something that you make from castor oil. Castor oil. My parents and my grandparents used. This is very common in Haiti. This is very common. I mean, this is every so-called Haitian has this in their house. And Haitian, there's the 2 famous ones. See, this right here on the screen is crap. That's probably from the pharmacy. That's BS. You want to get Jamaican castor oil, but me, and I'm not being biased, is just facts. But the Haitian castor oil is the best castor oil that you can get. You can get it. You can get Jamaican castor oil. You can get Haitian castor oil on Amazon. You want to get cold pressed, unrefined. Now, for any brothers that's local, my demon sells Haitian castor oil. My woman, she sells Haitian castor oil. So you can send a message to greatmillstone@yahoo.com if you need some of that. And I could get it for you. She charges for it, so I don't know what she charges. I'll find out. But she's got it, and she's got it unrefined, so it's pure. It's pure castor oil. It's strong stuff. As soon as you open a jar, you can smell it. All right, but the castor oil is something you gotta rub on your chest, and you gotta lay there, and it has a strong scent to it, and you gotta cover it. You gotta make a cold pack, meaning you cover it with cloth, and it's gonna stain whatever is on there. So the castor oil is good, but it may not be for everybody, you know. So there's let's go on. But if you need it, like I said, you go on Amazon. They got one, Crail Essence, I think is a company. Crail Essence. They sell the best one that I know of. Besides the one that I can get, the one I can get that I know of is the strongest one you can get. So, like I said, you can email greatmillstone@yahoo.com if you need some, and we'll figure it out. So, this right here, why did I click on this? Because oh yeah, oil of oregano. Boom, oil of oregano. Oil of oregano is very, very good. All of you should have this in your cabinet. And basically, this is a study. This website right here is a really good website. They do a lot of studies on damn near every herb you can think of, every vitamin, mineral. They do extensive studies. So this is a cool site to bookmark right here. But basically, they did a test and they found out that oil of oregano and a couple of they call essential oils are very, very good on viruses and antiviral efficacy or efficiency. Okay, so here's another one. Oil of oregano proves effective against coronavirus. So I'm gonna show you, brothers, the way I use it, which I found to be very effective. Now I'm gonna say about the oil of oregano. There's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them are just BS. In other words, they're watered down. The really, really strong one, I mean, you take that and it'll damn near burn a hole through your tongue. That's how strong it is. There's a place around here you can get it locally, but you brothers, most of y'all probably don't live around here. But I'm gonna get the information on how to tell, because I can't think of it off my head. But I'll get the information on how to tell if it's the real deal or not. And then I'll do another video, Lord's willing. But oil of oregano, boom, that's important. Here's another lung cleansing tea. All right, lung cleansing tea, and this is to detox your lungs. Now, looking at the ingredients, so basically what you want, man. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't have it. This is if you're suffering from it and you're starting to feel the respiratory effects, then you want to go to this. Or you can just do this generally as a lung detox, okay? But if you're suffering, if you think you may have an infection, you can do this, but the ingredients are ginger, turmeric, honey, and I'm going to say if you can, get Manuka honey, because the Manuka honey is medical grade honey. So you get honey, Manuka honey, black pepper. Cracked black pepper is the best. If you want to get cracked black pepper, because a black pepper that you see at your diner or the restaurants, that's BS. So is a salt. It's artificial. Real pepper has something in it called pepperine, and what pepperine does is it helps your stomach or your body, actually your stomach, it helps it absorb nutrients and minerals better. Is a word for it. It's called bioavailability. So it makes anything you eat more bioavailable to your body. Black pepper does that. This is where the tradition comes from, putting black pepper on food. Then you have cinnamon, right? So this is good as a detox, but what you want is something, you want an expectorant, because what an expectorant will do, an expectorant will expel the mucus or the fluid that's within the lungs. So this is cool, but it won't really help. It won't do the full job. So I'm gonna come back to this later. Okay, so here now, this is a thing they telling everybody to wear these masks, but the masks that you see them wearing in the streets, I mean, those don't really do much. They don't really do much. The cloth masks definitely don't do shit. There's a disposable mask, and these are masks that you use, you chuck away, then you grab another one. Those are better. But the best mask, if you're gonna rock a mask, the best one to get is called an N95 mask right here. They call this an N95 respirator, and as you can see, is now this is 3M. They make the reflective tape, so they they decided to make, I forgot, so many billion of these masks to give them out to hospitals and stuff. But these are the good masks, the ones that say N5, all right, because these are respiratory masks, and what they do is you breathe through this little vent here, and it filters out the air. These are good. You know, you got to wear them the right way though. You got to seal everything on the outside. A lot of people you see wearing these masks, they're not even wearing them the right way. I mean, they're wearing it. They might as well just take it off. But yeah, you put one of these on, and it makes it a little hard to breathe. It feels like you're breathing through a straw, but hey. And usually these have a cloth inside that you pull out, and then you can replace. So if you're gonna rock one, this is what you get. N95. What else I have here? Nope. Okay. I got the scripture here. Okay, so let me bring up my notes here. Okay, so these are just some notes I jotted down. So this is like personal, you know, advice or whatever to prevent yourself. All right, so you want to keep your diet light. You know, you want to keep your diet light. You want to eat lots of green and fruits, because greens and fruits, they have antioxidants. Okay, and it'll give your immune system the tools that it needs to fight off any in other words, to operate optimally and strong, to fortify that wall. You know, your immune system's like a firewall on your computer. So keep your diet light. The reason why I say that is because the less work your stomach has to do, the better your body can be at fighting off infections. You know, because look, your gut is your second. It might even be your immune. Actually, your gut is the harness of your immune system. You know, and your gut has the flora in it. You know, they call it flora. That's where you have all the good bacteria, and the good bacteria fight the bad bacteria. And this is why it's bad or not a great idea to take antibiotics, or to take them for a long time, because antibiotics kill the bad bacteria and the good bacteria. And what usually happens is you develop candida because the good bacteria start replenishing fast. And then you got the bad bacteria start replenishing fast. And the good bacteria, which you also killed off, it has to build up, but it's a little slower. And the bad bacteria, you know, they spread like wildfire. So you want to keep your diet light so that your immune system could be at its fullest potential, you know. So eat a lot of greens, you eat a lot of fruits, which are light, and try not to eat as much meat. You want to work out, because working out causes you to sweat, and it causes your muscles to contract and expand, which expels toxins out of your body, and then it gets released, you know, when you take a number 1 and when you take a number 2, and also when you sweat. Okay, so sweating helps release toxins. So you want to do a little bit of exercise, you know, do some jumping jacks, do something high intensity. If you're more advanced, something anaerobic that's going to make you sweat. But you don't want to do anything that's going to tax your body. So you don't want to do anything that's going to have you sore for the next day, because what that does is that it hits your immune system. And then the soreness is your body, you know, is your muscle tissue that has ripped. And here it is, your immune system now has to send its resources to go repair the muscle. You know, that's where the soreness comes from. But that's in actuality how muscles are built. Muscles are built by tearing your muscles down and then rebuilding it. You know, and it builds up kind of like a callus. And your body actually builds the muscle while you're sleeping. You know, so while we're talking about sleep, another thing is you want to rest as much as you can. Take a lot of rest. Don't go to bed all late, because rest is when your body does its repair job. That's when the little workers, your hormones, when you hit REM sleep, that's when your hypothalamus and different organs in your body that produce hormones that fix you up, that's when they really come alive, is during your sleep. That's why it's not good to eat late, because your body is going to need some resources to fix you up. So then you have this. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but NAC. NAC is very good for respiratory diseases, and what it does is it it thins out the mucus so that your body, it thins out the mucus and the fluid so your body can breathe easier. Okay, then we got the mask that I mentioned. All right, so if you suspect yourself having an infection, and this not only goes for this, just in general for anything, here's a little concoction that I use, and yeah, this is like a quick fix, but it works. It's very effective, right? So this involves cayenne pepper, oil of oregano, and alcohol. Me, I prefer whiskey. I'm a whiskey guy, right? So what you do is you take a little shot glass, you fill it with the whiskey or whatever alcohol you're gonna use. You put oil of oregano in there. So again, you wanna use some good strength oil of oregano, and depending on your tolerance, you're gonna have to mess around with this. Start with like 2 or 3 drops, and then you could build up to like 5 to 8 drops to 10 drops, depending again on your tolerance of oil of oregano. You got to be careful with it because it's very strong stuff, and it could harm you. But if you don't, you stay with low drops, you'll be just fine. So that and cayenne pepper, and I'm gonna tell you what each one does. So the cayenne pepper, that's my favorite herb of all time. Cayenne pepper. There's so many things you could do with that. But when it comes to deal with ailments, what cayenne pepper does, cayenne pepper will immediately break up mucus. I mean, immediately. Mucus doesn't stand a chance against cayenne pepper, so it'll immediately break up mucus. It also clears the passageway, so it'll clear the passageway to wherever the herb needs to go. The cayenne pepper will clear the passageway. Then you got the oil of oregano. The oil of oregano is known for its very, very strong antiviral and antibacterial properties. So the cayenne pepper makes way for the oil of oregano. And then you got a shot of whiskey. Now the reason I do the whiskey is because so another way to take oil of oregano that I do is I'll take the oil of oregano and I'll mix it with olive oil. But what that does is that sends it down to your gut. Now when you're dealing with diseases, something like the COVID-19 or of an infection, you want to hit your bloodstream. You want to hit the bloodstream because your bloodstream feeds everything in your body, and wherever the virus is, it's feeding off your body. It's feeding off things you put in your bloodstream, sugar, and these different things, and these candies and these foods. So what you do is you use oil of oregano with whiskey. The whiskey, because of its alcohol, it goes right into your bloodstream, right? It hits your bloodstream. This is why when you drink a lot of alcohol, you piss, because it goes in your bloodstream and then your kidney filters it out. So the quickest way to get the oil of oregano to the damn infection, to the virus, is you mix it with whiskey. So you take a shot of whiskey and then you just down it. Don't sip it, just down it. And immediately you should feel some relief. You'll feel the freaking oil of oregano and the cayenne pepper. You'll feel it traveling down into your lungs, all right? And then you'll see that your respiratory system just opens up. And I'm telling you, you can use this for anything, any cold or whatever ailments you have. But this is good. This is a good thing to take every once in a while, or phlegm, and this is good generally again if you have pneumonia or the flu and you got stuff in your lungs. I have this link here, but this link is to this here that we brought up before, this right here. Now the only thing I would add to this is again, like I mentioned, manuka honey, and I would add onion. Onion, I learned this from from when I was young, traditional Levite physicianal uses, right? So they use onion. I remember they always use onion when you had a cough or phlegm, and the shit worked. It always worked. And if you look it up,